Welcome to the Forecast. To my right, we have Alex Pestrella himself. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everyone.
And with us also, Garrett Walls. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Not sure why I called you man. Came out of nowhere, but we're going to keep with it. And my name is Marvin. This is the Wednesday Comics Forecast for, what's the date tomorrow?
The 16th of November.
Of November. Getting close to Thanksgiving. Getting close.
Oh, just kidding. Tomorrow's the 15th. I was reading the date on Previews World and being like, it's the next day.
Okay. Oh. The 15th of November, 2017. When I let you know the comics coming out, so you know what to pick up from your local comic book store. Starting with Dark Horse Comics, we have Brigland's Lone Wolf's 6 of 6. It finishes up. So if you're reading Briggsland, go ahead and finish that up. We also wanted to let you know of Jenny Finn, #1. This is a new #1 from Dark Horse Comics. Also, Mike Mignola. If you're missing Mike over from Hellboy, looks like the Acclaim series. Oh, this is a reprint. It's colored for the first time by Dave Stewart, the man. London's dockside is threatened by twin terrors of plague that leaves bodies covered in tentacles and a slasher killing women in the night. All which begins after the arrival of a strange young girl who is followed by whispers of doom wherever she goes. Interesting concept, and we talked about right before the forecast started. If it wasn't so busy a week, we might check it out, but a little busy of a week. So, Rasputin, Voice of Dragon #1. If you're a fan of Hellboy, there's another miniseries you can start picking up also. DC Comics, Aquaman #30. Gary, you mentioned that this is the last issue you were getting because it's the last issue that Sajik is doing the art. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, I really love that art, and I know they're going to put Sajik in all the covers for Aquaman to get people to still buy the book, but no, I liked it for what it was, but I still think I want to stay off Aquaman for a bit until there's new juice on it, like new creative team.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's still good, but you're right. I don't know. There's something about in the day and age, and I think we talked about it before, something being always like an 8 or 9 out of 10. It needs something that was like exciting. It's still good though. If you're looking for Aquaman, it's a good place to read. But Batman #35. This is Tom King, Joel Jones. Dream of Me Part 3. As the Cape Crusader passed the point of no return, turns out he's going to need a little help from his friends, but this help comes with a downside. Batman's true intentions will be exposed. Alex, that cover has Talia and Catwoman fighting. Is that an accurate cover? And also, are you looking forward to this issue?
Dumb question. What was the title of this arc?
Dream of Me.
No, it's called Rules of Engagement. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It says in the synopsis Dream of Me, but it's Rules of Engagement.
I think that the thing is called Rules of Engagement, but the inside says Dream of Me.
Okay.
Sometimes those are different.
I'm actually pretty excited for this book. The 34 was such a good-looking book that I cannot wait to read this issue. And I read 34 thinking that was on the list last time. 10 out of 10 for me. So this book I'm already excited and hyped for.
I still have to catch up on that, so I'm not sure, but 33, was it? 33 was... 34?
The start of the arc.
No, the start of the arc. The one that I read last was really good. So I'm looking forward to 34 and then 35. Good art from Tom King going back to the Catwoman Batman story. Lot to enjoy there. Batman Who Laughs #1. This is James Tynion IV, Riley Rossmo on art, Fabok on that cover. Garrett, Batman Who Laughs. I believe this is the last tie-in that is about the strange Batman. How much are you looking forward to this book?
I'm really looking forward to it. It's a great creative team. I think it has potential to be the best one-shot for all those Elseworld Batmans that have gone bad. So I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be a crazy-ass story. I know that for sure. So super excited.
Alex, you looking forward to this tie-in?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm curious to know what forces this Bruce to become his worst enemy. So I guess we'll have to see what this book has in store.
I am excited to see the backstory about it. See how he got these Robins and see what his deal is behind these. Looking forward to it. James Tynion, like we said, been killing it on Detective Comics, and we got Riley Rossmo, one of our favorites, doing art. So Should be a good issue. Batwoman, number 9, this is Margaret Bennett. Fernando Blanco, Fear and Loathing, Part 3. This is the Scarecrow arc. Alex, you been keeping up with Batwoman?
Yep, I'm all caught up on it.
What do you think about Batwoman number 9?
You know, it's actually one of those books that really ties in well with Detective Comics because there's stuff that happened in Detective that bleeds over into this. So not that you need to read Detective, but it does lend a hand. It's good. Garrett and I talked about it a couple weeks ago, actually, outside the shop, saying he had forgotten that Scarecrow's in this book until you get to the last page.
He's literally on the cover, and you get so entranced by the story that by the end when he shows up, I was like, oh shit, he was on the cover this whole time, and I forgot he's in this book.
So is it still good? I know for a while you two were thinking about dropping this book. Are you back on?
It was just more like that. It was more like that first arc. I did see that Margaret Bennett is going to be leaving this book, though,
what?
soon.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Did they not?
But at least I think it's for, is it January? One of the months she's going to be gone. And I don't know if it's permanent or not, but that's like, ugh, scary.
Yeah, I guess it would
depends on who picks up the book.
Yeah.
It was an unknown. I didn't recognize the name. So hopefully this isn't the last arc by Bennett, because I think she's a really good writer.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on with Animosity, where she has 4 of those books going on right now.
Yeah, a lot.
So I would be surprised if she drops off soon. Green Lanterns number 35 is Tim Seeley, Carlos Barbera, Balfungo, where art thou? This is the first issue of the Balfungo arc. Garrett, how did this guy get out? What do you think? Looking forward to this new arc, or is this going to be the training? Not training, but is this going to be the test to see if you keep on this book?
It just kills me inside. Like, the Sam Humphries volume was so good, and the first arc leading into this was not good. And so for them to pull out Bolfunga, I'm kind of like, ugh. When you bring a C-list character as your villain to not wrap up the arc that came before it, that's where I'm like, God, that's just not good storytelling. But if I know Tim Seeley is a good storyteller, so I'm trusting him. He's got 1 or 2 arcs out of me left. I'll give this arc, but if there's something that really pisses me off, then I'm going to be, and it's going to kill me to do it, but I'll probably drop this book. I've really come to love these characters over time, and to even think about dropping this book pains me inside. So I don't know. I just hope he turns his game around and gets the flow for Green Lanterns. I'm
in the same boat, but also I have a little cushion because I'm going to be getting Justice League, and so I feel like I might get them there. So
yeah,
we'll see though. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to give him a chance. Tim Seeley's a good writer. Injustice 2, number 14, Tom Taylor, Daniel Sampri. Garrett, looks like Batman or Bruce Wayne is on trial. What do you think about Injustice 2, number 14?
It's amazing. I want everyone to read it. Ignore that it's based on a video game. Everyone should be reading this if they're interested in for an Elseworlds, Justice League. I mean, every character in DC history, almost. I mean, not every single one, but a lot of characters, almost Kingdom Come's worth of characters is in this saga. And it's that, but no rules. No one's safe. Everyone's eligible to be killed at any moment. And the way these heroes that you love or villains die, how they get killed is just absolutely brutal. So it's an amazing book, and I look forward to every issue. I go into it thinking, nothing bad's going to happen. And then by the end, I'm either tearing up, pissed off, or I'm just in shock and awe that just happened. So it's a great book.
Justice League number 33. This is the Bats Out of Hell finale. This is Joshua Williamson writing, Tyler Kirkman on art. Bats Out of Hell finale. It's Justice League versus the Dark Knights fight. You know what? I'm going to say 2 things about this. One, Tyler Kirkman's a good artist. I looked at the preview. It looks like it's good art, which this issue should be a nice issue. It's kind of weird, though, that this issue is coming out the week of Justice League movie coming out. So if somebody goes see that movie, they're going to be like, let me go pick up Justice League, and they're going to get this Bats Out of Hell finale. It feels like they should have bumped up the schedule and had that new arc, that new team on it because that's going to be in 2 weeks. The next issue is the Christopher Priest issue. Feels like they should have bumped it up and had it come out this week. What do you think, Alex?
Oh, I guess I don't know. I would see it as once someone goes and sees Justice League, then they might be more enticed. As of right now, I think everyone's so hurt by what DC's been putting out that, no offense, I wouldn't be rushing out to go get a JL book. So I think they'll be fine for 2 weeks. Some people come back and like, holy shit, that movie was so good. I need to get me some Justice League. So it'll be fine. I don't think they're going to be hurting.
If you're listening to this podcast and you end up liking that movie, wait 2 weeks and get that issue. That'll be a jumping on point. It'll be a brand new direction with a new team. So I wouldn't try reading this finale issue as your first one and be like, what's going on?
Yeah, so that's a lot of information to be taken in that isn't in context.
Yeah,
so. And
it's unnecessary. Yeah, you're right. Like, just skip it and go. Nightwing 33. This is Tim Seeley, Javi Fernandez. Raptors Revenge Part 4. We have one more. Well, this one and then the next one are the last 2 issues of Tim Seeley. Garrett, what do you think? Is he going to go out with a bang, or is it kind of whimpering out here at the end?
I didn't really like Part 1. I haven't read. Is this Part 3? You said
4.
It's Part 4.
Part 4. So I've read Part 1 and 2. Yeah, that's right. And I thought Part 1 and 2 were kind of meh. Like Raptor wasn't that good. And like Blockbuster, he's just like a big dumb idiot that like thinks he's badass. So I don't know. This arc's just funky for me. It's not as Nightwing-ish as I would like it to be.
Honestly, I think the Raptor story should have been done after the first arc. The Blockbuster part has already had its run, and actually, he's been going on for at least the last 7-8 issues.
Yeah, you got to get him out of there.
I'm finding that this Nightwing is actually getting really kind of boring.
Agreed.
That if in 2 issues, if Humphreys wasn't coming on, I probably would just drop it because it's not something I'm enjoying right now.
Right.
I haven't read any of this arc so far just because it doesn't interest me. It's one of those books that in my stack and it goes to the bottom, and then when I get to it, I'm like, and then I leave it, and then I never get to it. I just don't know what it is. I like that Raptors arc. The Blockbuster one was okay too, but it's like, I don't know. Like, you're right. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's too much of the same. And I really feel like the book should be like pushing forward, but it really seems like Tim Seeley likes to go back and keep telling parts of a story that I feel like we moved past already. And I'm not sure if I'm interested anymore. Super Sons number 10. This is Peter J. Tomasi, Brian Ching, Jorge Jimenez on that cover, introducing the Fortress of Attitude. This is One Fine Day. Garrett, what do you think? Super Sons still doing good, or how's Super Sons going?
We dropped it.
Yeah, we did drop it.
Oh, I know that.
We dropped it at 9.
We both decided to because it's like, it's fun, but is it necessary to read? Like, because we're trying to trim some books up on our list because we get ridiculous amounts of books. And I really love it, but I didn't think it was the greatest book ever told. I did see that I am going to get the annual coming up next month, though. It's Crypto and Titus, so I'm definitely getting that. But I just think like it's not really going anywhere plot wise. It's just Damien and John bickering. They go do a mission, they bicker some more. It's just not seeing any growth. It's just more like the adventures of like you see these fun adventures, but nothing really changes. So
their adventures I don't even think are fun. They get drug into stupid things, and honestly, their fighting is so annoying. All they do is fight with each other. Right. If I was one of these bad guys, I would want to kill them myself just so that they'd shut up.
At the beginning,
I get it.
Go ahead.
Right, like I get it. The first couple arcs, you can
sense.
have that banter, but then they need to be fucking best friends by that 3rd or 4th arc. Like, come on, like figure your shit out.
Here we go. Here's the book that they're looking forward to the most. Oh no, you guys dropped it. Never mind. I was going to say about Trinity. Wildstorm number 9. This is Warren Ellis, John Davis Hunt. The first issue since that Michael Chrysler came out. Is that correct, or am I inaccurate about that?
Yeah, no. I can't remember if issue 8 came out after the first issue of Cray or not?
I believe that came out, and then we had 2 issues of Cray, and then now we have this.
I think you're right.
So
I think you're right.
Cover looks fantastic. Wildstorm's been, I think, a hit with all of us. Alex, yeah, that's really loud. Alex, are you looking forward to Wildstorm number 9?
I am. Actually, I think Wildstorm is probably one of my favorite books from DC right now. The story is always good, and like we've talked about before, it leads off from the last issue, so there's not a beat that's been missed. And that art, holy Moses, is so good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The art's really great, but not even in terms of just pencil work, just like even panel wise, especially when a fight happens. I think John Davis Hunt and Warren Ellis are telling some of the best fights in comics right now. They kind of reminds me, and I think it's Warren Ellis is really good about plotting out a fight. When he did his Moon Knight run, those Moon Knight fights were really intense, and like every single detail was accounted for. And I feel like that's what it is here too. Like I read these fights if you have an Alex type brain, I read these fights and I'm like, Alex is going to like this part of it. Like when she's counting her ammo and stuff like that.
Yep.
That is, if you're looking for that type of book, that's what this is. Wonder Woman, go ahead.
Whoa. I was going to say, like, you see how Brian Hitch is doing that variant cover? It's like, why can't you do actual covers like that? And because that one actually looks good. And we also skipped Superman, by the way.
Oh, did we? I didn't even see it on here. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Superman 35.
Superman 35. This is Peter J. Tomasi, Patrick Gleason, Travis Moore. This is Imperial Lex Part 3. Garen, what do you think? Imperial Lex Part 3. Steppenwolf, General of Apocalypse, enlists John Sun into Canine Cavalry. Steppenwolf. Never mind. What do you think about this Superman arc?
I've said this one's been really good with Mr. Miracle being out right now because you get all those characters from the New Gods universe hanging out with. Wow, it's more like Lois, Clark, and John are hanging out with them. But I think this is actually your perfect issue for if you do go see Justice League because, Steppenwolf's in it. You're going to kind of get a taste of if the cinematic was that spoilers?
That's why I didn't say it. I don't think they haven't revealed that in the trailers at all, so that's why I wasn't saying.
Well, if you don't know that's him, then you must be new to comics, so that's fine. Not you, I'm saying people that don't know that. Whoops. Well, shit. Now I'm in a spoiler hole. You'll get some flavor from Justice League, or if they want to ever do a big, huge, whatever their culminating movie event will be, this is going to help kind of introduce some of those characters that you'll become familiar with.
It's not an accident that they have Apocalypse in this book. They have Apocalypse in what's the other book where Darkseid? Oh, Wonder Woman, where Darkseid's coming back.
Mr. Miracle,
all this stuff. They're obviously trying to make pencil them in there so that if anybody likes these movies, they can be like, "Oh, I understand this character already." Yeah. So it doesn't feel so blatant in terms of like how Marvel did it in the past. Where especially like when we saw that Thor movie, I literally was like, "Okay, that person was just in an arc." Like every single arc of Mighty Thor. All those villains around the screen in Thor Ragnarok. So I was just like, okay, that's why they're in there. But I mean, like you said, it's been a good arc so far. So looking forward to it. Wonder Woman Conan number 3. This is Gail Simone and Matt Ryan and Aaron Lopresti. Alex, what do you think? Wonder Woman Conan number 3.
In all honesty, the reason I'm getting this book is I love Wonder Woman, but Gail Simone is probably one of the first writers that I really connected with that I want to get this book just to say that I get a book from her. Because I think other than Crosswind, that's the only book of hers I'm getting. It's been good. I'm waiting for them to get a little bit more in depth with the story because I think Diana just realized who she was. So actually I was trying to figure it out on a walk earlier this week. Is that Wonder Woman stuck in time? Is it actually this like combination of Conan and Wonder Woman? Is she in his land? Is he in her land? I'm kind of flustered that I don't know where we're at, but it's good and it looks great.
You know what I heard? This land is my land. This land is your land. IDW Publishing, this is TMNT ongoing, number 76. Tom Waltz, Evan Eastman, Damian Cocchetto. This is the invasion of the how do you say this?
Triceratons.
Part 1?
Yes.
What do you think? Alex, how's this book going?
Well, 75 was a long issue. It was the ending of the Krang trial. Not a whole lot really came out of that. I don't know. There's nothing that was final in it, other than the king of Dimension X gave the Triceratons their homeland back, which happens to be Earth, and so that's where they're headed. So we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know if usually the Triceratons are bad guys, which I'm assuming they will be again.
I got a joke for you. What do you call Transformers that runs out of ideas? Bringing in dinosaurs.
Excellent joke. Bring that up on stage.
Get it? Because TMNT is running out of ideas, so now they're bringing in dinosaurs.
The Triceratons have been made in the 80s. So
where have they been since then?
They've been around. I recognize those characters.
Hey, the Dinobots were around too.
Your joke is old and no one gives a shit.
Image Comics, this is Black Science number 33. This is Rick Remender, Mateo Scalera. Execution is the Rule, part 3. Alex, let me know if you agree with me, but I think the last issue I did enjoy more than the issue before that, mostly because it went back to the main story and the family kind of drama. It looks like this one's doing the same thing. Looking forward to Black Science?
Agreed. 32 was a step up from 31 and 30. They seemed way out in Westfield, where at least we're coming back to what I loved about the story. And it's going to be the family hopefully sticking it out together and beating the shit out of Kadir.
This is, I believe, ramping up to... this might be the last arc. I'm not sure how long the arc's going to last, but
I thought it was supposed to be 40 issues.
I know, that's what I mean, but it might be 7 issues for the arc. I mean, the 8 or... This whole thing might run into the end. Or it might run until like the last 37, and then 37 through 40 would be the last like arc. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Gonna close strong. This book's been kind of like mostly high, a little low. So overall, kind of like it's gonna be like an 8, I think. But for that art's a 10 out of 10 every time.
I agree. The art's amazing. I agree with the first 1 through 23, 24 was top-notch storytelling.
Yeah, to God world.
And then I feel like Rick kind of hit a weird bump, or the story had to bend a way that wasn't as smooth as it could have been.
Things went in a couple of different ways, and not sure if I enjoyed the way it went, but still one of the greater Rick Remender books.
Gooder books. Dark
Fang number 1. This is New Image number 1. So if you're looking for one, there it is from Miles Gunter and Kelsey Shannon. Go ahead and check that out. Dark Fang number 1. Let's say, I would read to what it's about, but it's kind of long here. Earth Calling part 1. Looks like vampires. If you're interested in vampires, there you go. Standard number 26. This is Jeff Lemire, Dustin Wynn, Rise of the Robots, Conclusion. First off, before I pitch it to you guys to talk about this book, that might be one of the best covers I've ever seen in a comic.
It's awesome.
Like, holy jeez. The text, the way the text is like way up there. No barcode, no anything, no image thing, like nothing. The
image thing's on there.
Underneath his leg.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, you can barely see it. It's obviously there, so it doesn't draw your eye. But like that vast blue, and then the robot just sitting there. It's great. What do you think? The conclusions to this arc, has it been good, Garrett?
I didn't realize we're at the conclusion already, Garrett.
Yeah, I thought I just read part 5 of 6. Well, that would make sense then. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe
we're
it
at
is.
Part 5 of 6, though. That surprises me. I thought we were at part 4 of 6. But
we read part 4. This is maybe this is the issue before it ends, because I thought, I don't think we're quite there yet. We could be.
If it's 5 issues, maybe it is conclusion. But if it's 6, then I feel like we're one behind. But
regardless, I mean, this has been it's been awesome. It's who like It's crazy that the last 2 years has literally been like maybe 1 hour's worth of time in the Descender universe. Like, we haven't really progressed like linearly, because like there's so much back matter that's been thrown in, like by flashbacks and whatnot. But literally, if you think about it, from those character silhouette issues to where we are now, only about a couple hours have spanned.
Yeah.
In time. So that's kind of crazy to me, that like, wow, not a lot's happened in a long time.
I'm curious to know if after the Rise of the Robots and after they've settled this, because this seems to be just one 27 issue arc. I'm hoping that they touch on some of these other planets that we were shown in the first issue. Go into the dead planet and the water planet and the fire planet and the whatever, this universe is huge and I'd love to see more of it. Or is it going to be one of those things that it's a 30 issue run and then we're done?
I agree. And the part that gave me goosebumps from last issue, have you caught up?
Yes.
Where he wakes up inside of a giant, he wakes up consciously, and not consciously, subconsciously in front of one of the harvesters.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. I was like, holy fuck.
Excuse me.
Yeah, great book.
Sounds great. I should catch up on this book, right?
You should, but I don't see it happening.
East to West, number 35. This is Jonathan Hickman, Nick Jagrado, excuse me. Alex, it's been a while since we've seen the East to West book. I don't believe we ever, the last issue didn't end on like an arc. I think we're still like mid-story. B, do you know what's still going on?
Nope.
I don't either.
I was hoping you were going to ask, because I don't remember reading 34.
I don't either.
No freaking clue what's going on.
And that's been the downfall of this book, right? It's been excellent. The book's been excellent. It's just that from issue to issue, there's such delays that I have, and especially in a book like this, there's so many people, there's such rich story going on that I have no clue what's going on, because one issue comes out, every 4 or 5 months?
Oh, I said this. I think it's at least been 3 months since we've talked about it, and I'm almost tempted to, after this issue that we talk about, I think, I almost want us to wait until it wraps up, because it's hard to remember what's going on from issue to issue.
It is wrapping up after this year. Like, there's going to be 3 years of this book.
Yeah.
Each, and I don't know. We really like this book. I remember telling you around year 2, I went back and read the whole thing, read year 1. And I was like, man, this book is so good if you read it together. It's just that when there's those gaps, and that's a danger of reading month to month with books, is that I forget what's happening. I forget when it's out normally, month to month usually. Like, I have to be reminded within the book. So when you get 4 to 5 months, especially with something with so many people, I don't know what's going on. And it ruins my enjoyment of the book. I think last time we reviewed it, I even said, I was like, it looks like it read fine. Like, this issue was great, but I have no clue what the story is.
Agreed.
So
this is one of those books that's going to be, I have to take it by issue, because that's as far as I can remember is what I just recently read.
Yeah, it's a shame, though, that Jonathan Hickman is doing other things, so this book is not coming out on time, but we'll see. I assume it's him. I'm not sure, though. Might be Nick. Evolution number 1. This is from James Asmus, Joe Kinnage, Christopher Sabella, Joshua Williamson. This is, I believe, like an anthology type book. It unites all these writers, and they're going to tell you a story about human evolution. It's taken millions of years to get to this stage, but next week we become something new. Around the world, humanity is undergoing rapid and unpredictable changes, and only 3 individuals seem to notice that their world is being reborn. But what can they do about it? Good set of writers. So if you're looking for a new book, Evolution number 1, there we go. Go ahead and pick that up. Here we go. Generation Gone number 5. This is Alice Cott and Andre Aranjo. End of the story arc, breakup. I'm not sure what that means, but you guys probably know, right, Garrett?
Yep. An amazing book. I'm surprised Alice Cott has put out 5 issues, to be honest, in this short amount of time. Like, it feels like we're almost getting it, like, I don't know if we're getting it every 3 weeks, so it's technically still a month. I don't know. Like, how that works, but I feel like we're getting more content in a short amount of time. I really enjoy this book.
If he's got a set amount of issues, because have you read issue 4?
No, I have to read that still.
Okay. Because issue 4 was great.
Really?
Really strong art. I loved it a lot. But I'm curious to know how, and not that I want books to end, but I'm always curious at the end game for a book. Is this and since we know that Alice Cott is not necessarily the longest winded writer, I wonder how long this book will really be. Or if it's just going to fade away to nothing.
That's what I hope it doesn't, because it feels like it's just getting started. Like, it feels like there's so much potential story to come out of this. So I hope that he's trying something new and trying to do a more long-term book, but we'll find out.
Horizon number 16. This is Brandon Thomas, Juan Gideon. Garrett, how's Horizon been going?
It's great. I mean, I've said it before, it's a flip on kind of alien invasion rather than aliens coming. Well, aliens do go to Earth, but rather to invade Earth for their resources, they're trying to keep people from Earth from leaving Earth to come to their planet. So it's more like, I don't know how I would say it, but they're going to Earth to keep Earthlings from coming to their planet to destroy it. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of great action. There's some comedy in it, and the art is just incredible. The art's been consistent throughout, and I really enjoy it.
You still get Postal, Garrett?
Yes.
Postal 24, Brian Hill, Isaac Goodhart. End of a story arc. The end of Eden is here. What do you think, Garrett? Postal 24.
This book is crazy as shit. Art's fantastic, but there are some fucked up things that happen in this book. It's literally just a dysfunctional town thinking they can have like rules for all these kind of reformed criminals, and that's just never going to work, you know. So you can even, I mean, there's just fighting, there's political espionage, there's just all kinds of things happening in like a rural environment, and it's a blast.
Yeah, I looked at the art. I think it's the first time I've ever seen the art. It actually looks pretty good. Looks really good.
They changed artists about 10 issues in, and the art changed for the better.
Kind of reminds me. It looks like a colorized kind of Walking Dead art. So
yeah.
Realm number 3. This is Seth Peck, Jeremy Hahn. Alex, how's the Realm been?
I know, Garrett, you have never played The Last of Us, and I think I bring it up every time we talk about this book. This book is so good. Like, the art is so strong, and it's got that almost hint of fantasy in it, where there's, I don't remember if they're goblins or they're orcs or something. There's monsters in this land, which I assumed was modern world. And then this apocalypse happens, and the main character, I can't remember his name, reminds me of Joel from Last of Us, where he's kind of a smuggler. And there's a secret being kept from him, because there's someone, I'm guessing, with some powers or some cure or something. I love this book, and these covers are so good.
I do love the covers. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but issue 1 was really good.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I like that cover a lot. Before I move on to Marvel Comics, just want to say I believe Wicked and Viner is ending. If anybody reads that book, let me know. I did read that book for a while, and then it was kind of a slow burn, so I kind of jumped off and told myself I would go back to it one day. Hasn't happened. Obviously, that's the Marvin way. But if you want to let me know, is that a good book? Because then now if it's over, maybe I can go back and read it. That won't happen, but I just want to know.
That's the Marvin way.
Speaking of the Marvin way, what about the Marvel way? Marvel Comics, this is Amazing Spider-Man 791 Legacy. Dan Slott, Stuart Eminem, Alex Ross cover. Alex, Spider-Man and Mockingbird flying in the air, Kissing. What do you think?
You know what? I finally feel like I found a Spider-Man book that I can get behind. Not that I love seeing Peter struggle, but that's the Peter Parker I've always known. So when he was the successful, even though he wasn't the one who made him successful, that was Dr. Octopus, I love this book. Like, I'm so glad that I'm back on Spider-Man.
Peter acts like Peter Parker has always acted, except for when, yeah, you're right. Like, not to say that you're right, that Peter doesn't have to have a shitty life for his character to be good, but all the Parker Industries and all that was set up by Doc Ock. And, like, you kind of lose that focused train of thought on that until, like, even when it's explained, like, hey, I never asked for this laboratory to get made. Like, I didn't want all this. And then he's like, I never in a million years would have built a laboratory like this. Like, I love science, but I don't think this is my path or how it would have ended up if Doc Ock hadn't got involved. So,
Alex, did you ever pick up Deadpool versus Old Man Logan?
No.
All right, Defenders number 7. This is Brian Michael Bendis, David Marquez. This is the second part of Kingpins of New York. Excuse me. Alex, what do you think? Defenders, Brian Michael Bendis obviously leaving, so this thing is going to be winding down, at least with Bendis. Looking forward to see how this wraps up, at least Bendis' run, or are you kind of over this book?
Oh, I you know what? The first couple of issues, I was struggling to really like this book. But in all honesty, that Marquez art is so good that I can pretty much forgive anything writing-wise. And even writing-wise, it's been really strong. I like the last issue. I'm looking forward to this issue. Now, the one problem I have, and that's continuity stuff, Daredevil's busy doing something with Wilson Fisk. Or maybe this is going to tie in together.
Maybe. That's what I was curious about, too.
Wilson Fisk is going to be the mayor.
That's what I was curious about, too, how they're going to have two running storylines about Kingpin and Daredevil's involved in both. So you have two characters involved in the same storyline. Hopefully, I mean, they talked about it, and they are going to be part of the same storyline, or maybe they'll just be two separate ones. We'll see.
It may be. Depending on who picks up this book after Bendis leaves, I'll probably continue to get it as long as Marquez is still on it. But I think if the team were to change, Papa may be dropping a book.
I believe, let's see here. Well, I think you could go a couple ways, right? You can go with Soul, since he's writing Daredevil, see how he'll run with this book, or you could go with David Walker, who did the Power Mind and Iron Fist book, and see how that goes. But I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see. It's one of those books and Bendis you got to keep your eye on and see how it's going to affect play. Doctor Strange, number 381, Legacy. This is Donny Cates, Gabriel Hernandez Walter, Loki, Sorcerer Supreme, Part 1. Evil is everywhere, and the world needs the Sorcerer Supreme more than ever. But is the world ready for Loki, Sorcerer Supreme? Waldo, the artist of one of my favorite books, Vision, but we got Donny Cates, who I believe is a podcast favorite here. Looking forward to this at all, Garrett?
Yeah, I really am. Like, when Doctor Strange, the movie came out, I hadn't really known much about the character. Marvin had me read, what was the Oath one? Was it?
BKV?
Yeah, the Brian K. Vaughan one.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah, The Oath, which was awesome. And then I read the Jason Aaron, like the first arc, and I was kind of like, it just didn't really click for me. So I'm hoping this will be kind of like a rebirth-ish legacy for me as a new fan of Doctor Strange. Give me that Doctor Strange that I want to know more about, not like a generic version of him.
This is one of those books that it has literally nothing to do with the character. It has all to do with the team.
Yeah.
That if either one of the writer or artist decides to leave or go into another project, I'll be dropping the book. I have no tie to Doc Strange. I'm just getting it because Walt is on it, and so is Cates.
Donny Cates has done enough where I can trust him a little bit, see how he does. But you're right, the pairing, I'm getting it for the pairing. I'm kind of curious to see how Walta does, because on Vision you had a story where it had some action, but it really was more just a story of Vision and his family trying to figure out how to exist in this kind of world. And now we got Doctor Strange, which is known for kind of weird stuff popping up and like very elaborate art. And I don't think that's Walta at all. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, see if it's going to be good or not. I am very curious though. So if you're looking to jump into Doctor Strange, this is the one to do it. New team and new starting point. So Hawkeye number 12. This is Kelly Thompson, Michael Walsh, Hawkeye's latest showdown with Madame Mask has left her fed up with the clones and all of shenanigans surrounding them. Looking forward to this, Alex. Hawkeye, I believe we are enjoying it so far.
You know, Hawkeye might be one of my favorite Marvel books I get. And a lot of it is that she's not going to, I mean, she's going up against big baddies to an extent, but they're not even big baddies that I know. Like Madame Mask, I never knew about her until I read Fractions Hawkeye. So I love the art. I love how they set up the fighting that she does. She's got this fun little quippy wit. She's just, I don't know how the best way to describe it. But this book just, it hits home. It feels so good to read it.
It feels like, I know before you guys were talking about you dropped Super Sons because it was fun, but it really didn't feel like there was anything there. This is fun, but it feels like I feel like Kate is a full-rounded character, so I do care about what happens to her. So I'm not reading this book, being like, oh, it's fun, but like I could take it or leave it. I'm reading it being like, it's fun, but I hope nothing. Like when stuff gets serious, I'm still invested. So I'm really looking forward to it. The art's great too. I like the art a lot. Garrett, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think this has been a home run. I'm a little scared for Legacy. I mean, I trust the team, so I don't think anything's going to change too much.
I didn't think she was getting Legacied.
Yeah, she's getting Legacied because Hawkeye's going to join the book. The actual male Hawkeye is going to join the book. Yeah.
Oh, I was say because as of right now, all the other books that have got Legacy things going on have a Legacy reference on the page or even in the description here.
This isn't Legacy. It's not until the next issue.
Later? Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I hope that when Clint comes back, that he's not the main character; he's just a side character. Like this is.
I'd rather it. Right. That's what I like. Is that it's her book.
Here we go. Garrett, do you still get Incredible Hulk?
Nope, never picked up issue 1.
Oh, I thought you were going to check it out. Okay, well, if you read or watched, Thor Ragnarok and you're interested in Sakaar, That Planet Hulk, here you go. You can read Incredible Hulk number 710. Greg Pak and Greg Land. Oh, 2 Gregs. Mighty Thor 701. This is Jason Aaron, James Herron. Death of Mighty Thor Part 2. Hey, James Herron. Our buddy from Rumble, and then also he did that 7 to Eternity a couple issues. Now he's on Mighty Thor 701. What do you think? Death of Mighty Thor Part 2. Garrett, you were the biggest fan of this for a while, and then it kind of turned around with 700. You looking forward to 702?
Yeah, you mean 701?
Oh yeah, 701. Go ahead.
Yeah, 700 was kind of like eye-opening for me. Like I've been waiting for this to either get better or I was going to drop it. So that was a big anniversary issue though. So I still have reservations going into 701. Like I'm not completely absolved of keeping it on the chopping block. So I want to see how these issues after 700 can tie together the story. So, but I trust it based off 700. So excited to see what happens next.
I have to admit, Thor has not been a book that's on my chopping block. A part of it is that I'm a big fan of Jason Aaron. I'm excited to read this book, hoping that it keeps the legacy alive in Thor from what we got in 700. So I agree with you, Garrett. It's never been on my chopping block.
Alex, I know you've been looking forward to this. Punisher 218, Matthew Rosenberg taking over. Dewey Vanova, Frank Castle, War Machine Part 1. Alex, you're going to pick this up and try it out, right?
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is probably one of the books of the week that I want to get a Punisher book so bad that I can't wait to read this book.
See, I'm the same way. I've been wanting a good Punisher book, and the last one I read, with who was the creative team? It was somebody, and the art was by Steve Dillon. It's just it
was Becky Cloonan.
Becky Cloonan.
Yeah.
It felt like the Punisher was a copy paste character. It wasn't. It could have been the Punisher. It could have been John McClane from Die Hard. It didn't need to be the Punisher. It could have been any Joe Schmo. Yeah. And I didn't like it because of that. So I'm just by reading the previews for this, I can tell it's about Frank Castle and his mission, and that's what I'm super pumped about.
He's going to be War Machine. Do you think maybe he'll be Iron Man in the new Iron Man movie? Just kidding.
No.
What? I think he's gonna put his head, his fist next to Tony Stark's head and blow his head off and be like, "I'm Iron Man."
Speaking of Brian Michael Bendis, I'm not getting this book anymore, but Garrett brought up. I'm not sure if it was in the show or not in the show. The real world is mixing in with the podcast world. Spider-Man #2, #4. You said the last one was pretty good, right, Garrett?
Yeah, #3 was actually pretty great. Like, it was a Kingpin and Earth Prime, whatever, Miles Morales, and it was really good story. And you know what's crazier is that Ultimate Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man weren't in the book, so I don't know. Like, it was enjoyable. I really enjoyed the last issue, so I'm curious to see what happens with this issue 4.
Star Wars Darth Vader #8. This is Charles Soule, Giuseppe Camicoli. Legacy ends, begins. I'm not sure what that means, but Garrett, you probably know. How's this book going?
I love this book. I love it so much. The art's amazing. The story's great. It feels like you're actually reading history of Darth Vader and not just like pointless stories set between the movies. I look forward to it every time it comes out. It's just so rich with that art by Camicoli, and the story's amazing.
That's Marvel Comics. Any of the books in the Upside Down that you want to talk about?
Upside Down.
Sorry. The only thing I want to bring up,
yes,
is that I'm looking at this Weapon X #11. Not that I'm going. This book looks so ridiculous and irritating that there is a Wolverine Hulk, and they're still fighting it.
Yeah, I know. That's back from that tie-in from months ago.
Just holy crap! This book needs to be done. Obviously, if you can't move on from the first topic, be done with this book.
Yeah, I have something in the Upside Down. I have Mech Cadet U #4.
Oh, Mech Cadet U. I have it pulled up here. That's Greg Pak, Takeshi Miyazaki. What is it? Mazakwa? Series finale's the end, right? 4 issues, looks like.
You're fucking kidding me.
It says right there, series finale.
What the F? So pissed off right now.
This is true emotion from Garrett. He's finding out for the first time.
This is fucking stupid.
Well, obviously it's been a good book. He even enjoyed it, but this is the end. Looks like it's the end of Mech Cadet. Ew.
What? See, that's what I always hate. That's the only thing about comics is you never know. I mean, yes, they'll tell you if they're ongoing, but ongoing could be 10 issues. You know, it's like, man, I was hoping that was going to be a long-term series, but it's been great. But man, I'm really sad now because I really love this book.
I find it weird that you are, of the three of us, you are the solicit king. You're the one who knows everything that's coming out previous and who the bad guy is going to be and how it's going to end. That you didn't know that this was ending.
Yeah, I don't check out the Boom Studio solicits. I get 3 books from there. I get 20 from everyone else.
Well, obviously,
then you deserve to be surprised.
It's cautionary tale. You got to be checking out everything.
I'm depressed.
All right, well, let's move on then. Those are the books for November 15th, 2017. Alex, what are you looking forward to the most?
You know, in all honesty, I think I'm looking forward to the most is The Punisher. I've been waiting for a long time for a Punisher book just to read it. So I'm so excited. That cover looks great. Hopefully this legacy pulls me right in and keeps me going. But if I had to choose another book, it'd probably be TMNT 76.
2 good choices, I believe. I'm not TMT. I was talking about it's good, but Punisher. I hope that book gets some life into it. It seems like Matthew Rosenberg's a good writer, and this seems like an interesting concept. It seems brand new, so hopefully he goes to a good place. Garrett, what do you think? What's your book of the week?
I'm excited for The Batman Who Laughs, or The Bat Who Laughs. I think that creative team is going to be awesome for that book. If I had to pick a second runner-up, I'm excited for Doctor Strange because I've been really wanting to read a book about Doctor Strange, and I think this is the perfect creative team for getting me on that character, like getting more involved. So I'm excited.
Not excited for that Mech Cadet, I guess.
I'm excited for Mech Cadet. and it's been great, but like, God, why's it got to end? It's been so good.
You took my two. It was gonna be one of those two, so I'll pick a third one just to make it interesting. Batman 34. It's been a good arc so far, so I am looking forward to Tom King's new issue. Also,
35.
Excuse me. Also, something that is piquing my curiosity. I know we just talked about how I don't know what's going on, but East to West is a good book. It has good art, so I am looking forward just to look at it and be like, do I remember what is going on? We will see if I do, but it is a test. Every time I open that book and I get halfway, it's always like, oh yeah, I remember, or it's like, who knows what's going on right now, but I'll finish this issue. So we'll see. Alex, by the way, Your Voices podcast, I don't know what you did, but Your Voices podcast has been pitch perfect. Is the weather affecting your voice? Let me know.
You know what? It is beautiful outside. It doesn't even feel like fall weather. It's like spring. A little misty, a little cool, but you know what? It's warm. Be careful of those books. They might get some moisture on them. That's how moist it is outside. And for anyone who doesn't like the word moist, I'm just going to say it. Moist. Oh, by the way, the answer to why my voice has been perfect this whole night, Papa's been drinking water. Moist. My throat is moist.
Garrett, what do you think about them roads?
Holy shit. Well, don't be behind Alex because he's moist. So I think this is a really busy week. So you're definitely want to get to the shop is pretty good pace. So I'd get up a little early, make sure you're there on time, because there's I already have 24 books. I know you guys have at least a handful. So I want to make sure you get a copy of all these new number ones, a lot of legacy titles, a lot of one-shots, so series endings. So yeah, definitely get there as quick as you can.
And remember, every week, try and get somebody interested in comics, somebody that seems like they're into these movies and they are not sure where to go. Be that person to show them where to start. A couple good jumping on points this week if they would like to jump on. I've been trying to fan some fires of people I know that are wanting to get into comics. I just, you fan it and it's going out. It's like a little fire and you go, breathe, baby, breathe, come alive. And then it turns into a roaring fire. It turns into a roaring fire eventually.
Then you say, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Hey, Die Hard Christmas movie. Hey, there's a commercial on right now for a cable company where Santa Claus is wanting to watch a Christmas movie. He watches Die Hard. And that Santa Claus is Santa Claus in my heart. And my name is Marvin.
I am Alex.
And I'm Garrett.
This is your forecast, and everyone, keep reading those books. Fuck, every time.